Good morning, students. Once again, we are back with another topic of economics, that is supply, law of supply, and price elasticity of supply. So, students, this is chapter number 5, as you have seen in the slide, and 4 chapters we have completed, means first part of that microeconomics, or we can say so that important factor of that microeconomics, demand, has been completed. Afterwards, we'll study supply, and after supply, we'll study both of them together, impact of demand and supply or consumer equilibrium. So, that thing we will discuss step by step. But one thing I want to remind you that I have forgot to give you the numerical questions which are mentioned on page number 74, and you have to complete all the questions from your textbook because 3 mark question is confirmed on based of these numerical questions. And once again I want to remind that numericals based on price elasticity of demand will come in board examination only. Now we shall start chapter number 5. So students, supply is a new concept to you. So if you are understanding the supply from starting, then you may understand the equilibrium of that microeconomics. So let us start that concept of supply. What is supply? So first of all, we can go through what is supply. Supply of a commodity refers to the quantities of commodity which a producer or seller are willing to produce and offer to sell at various prices during particular period of time. So students, in demand you have listened about consumer, but now we are going to discuss about producer. So in demand we have discussed that willingness to purchase. Here for supply we are having willingness to sell. And why willingness to sell? Because if a producer, who is a producer, who is producing the things or commodity, is known as a producer. So if a producer will not have a willingness to sell the product, then he cannot sell the product. So first thing is there, their first point was there, willingness to purchase. Here first thing is here, willingness to sell. So if a producer is willing to sell, and second concept is there that on particular price, what is there? Price given. So there was also a thing that on particular price we can purchase, but here on particular price or given price a seller or a producer is willing to sell. So first thing what was there, willingness to sell. Second thing is there, price given, means on particular price is willing to sell. And the third and important thing will be here. What is third and important thing? That is specific period of time period. So third thing is here, time period. So we have to keep in mind while we are discussing about supply, let it clear one thing, that if you are having willingness to sell but you are not willing to sell on particular price, you are willing to sell your product on high price, then supply will not be in the market. And same thing is there, that if you are not willing to sell your product at particular time period or during the particular time period or specific time period, then supply will not be there in the market. So it is having the similarity with the demand. There we were having willingness to purchase, means of purchasing, and given period of time and particular time period. So here we are having three things important. First one is willingness to purchase. Second thing is there at the given time period, and third thing is here at the given price. So if a producer is willing to sell his commodity on given price or various prices and during the particular time period, then we can say that supply of the commodity is there in the market. So I hope you understood the concept of supply. Suppose you are producing a product and you are willing to sell on particular price, means you are not willing to sell lower than that one. Higher than that one, then no problem, but lower than that one you are not willing to sell your product. And third and important thing is there, in particular time period. So these three things you have to keep in mind. I hope you understood. Now we are going to the next concept, that is determinant of supply. In your book one more topic is given, individual and market supply. So let me explain in short what is individual and market supply. So individual supply is there if a single producer is there in the market and he is supplying the commodity in the market, that will known as individual supply. And if we are having an industry just like sugar industry doesn't contain a single mill or single unit, it contains a number of units, so that will be industry. So if a single producer, then individual supply, and if more than one or more than two or maybe number of sellers, then it will be a market supply. So same concept is there which was there in supply, that willingness to sell on particular time on particular price and in given time period or specific time period. So individual and market supply, I think you have understood. Individual only single one, and market means more than one or maybe a group or maybe a large number of sellers, and they are willing to sell their product in both cases on given time period and on given price of the commodity. So that conditions are known as supply in the market. So next topic is given in a book, difference between stock and supply. That topic I am going to discuss in the last of the topic or explanation. Now I am moving toward the next topic, that is determinants of supply. Student, we have read about determinants of demand. In the same way we are having determinants of supply. So first and important one is there, the price of the commodity. So while we were discussing about demand, we have read that price of the commodity is having inverse relationship with the demand of a commodity. But here we are having vice versa. What we are having here means, as a producer you are willing to sell your product on high cost. It means the higher the cost, higher the supply, or we can say so that price is having direct relationship with the supply. If more price, then more supply will be in the market. So first and important determinant is there, that more price is there, then more supply in the market, and less price is there, then less supply in the market. Why it is so? Because as a seller you want more and more profit, and we can say that profit maximization is your main motive. So when you will get maximum profit, when you will get higher and higher price, so that we can say so that higher the price and higher the supply. So first determinant is clear, I think so. If more price, then more profit, and more profit, then more supply, as a producer or as a seller. Next one, goals of producer. So what is the goals of producer? As a producer, you are producing your products. So you may have three kind of motive or goals. First one is profit maximization. In this case, what will happen means you will sell out your products on highest price. In that case, what will be there? Higher the price, higher the supply. Second one is there, sales maximization. Some firms are not working for profit, they are working for sales. So they are not keeping in mind the price of the commodity, they are just increasing their sale, and they can sell out the product on low price also, their supply is more. So that is another concept. And third one is risk maximization. So some firms are working on below that price also, or below that input prices of that products, that is known as risk maximization. Means they are making that market for product in future. So that is known as risk maximization motive of that firm. So In this way they can sell out, or different firms can have different motives, and according to that they can supply in the market. So firms which is having profit maximization, his motto, they will supply more commodity on highest price or more price. And firms which are having sales maximization, they will not take care of they will not take care of price, they will supply the commodity in the market. And the next one, which are going for risk maximization. So they want to dominate themselves in the business world, and they are not taking care, and they are taking risk, and they are supplying their products in the market. So all three conditions I have make it clear: profit maximization, sales maximization, and risk maximization. So as a producer you may have definite goal, and according to your goal you can supply your product in the market. So the next one we are going to discuss about input prices. So input prices are directly linked with that supply of the commodity. As we know well that if input price will low, what are input price here? I would like to tell that prices of the raw materials and that factors of production which are used for producing a commodity, those are known as input factors. So if that prices of input factors are less, then supply of the commodity will be more in the market, and if it will increase, then supply of the commodity will be less in the market. Why? Because if that input cost or input price will be low, then profit will be more to the producer, and if that input prices will increase, then profit of the producer will be less. So we can say so that a fall in the input prices, there will be more sale in the market, or there will be more supply in the market. And one more thing is there that opposite of this one means if that input price will increase, then production cost will increase, and production cost will increase, then profit maximization will be less, and in that case producer is not willing to supply that product in the market. So next topic we can move, that is prices of related commodities. So this is very easy to understand with the help of substitute goods. So students, supply of the commodity depend upon that prices of related goods. These are two kind of goods: substitute goods as well as complementary goods. So if we are discussing first about substitute goods, so producer will think that if that substitute goods prices are low, then he is not willing to supply his product in the market. Why? Because that consumer will shift from one product to another product, because both products are closely related to each other. So in that case he is having the option. So if you are increasing the price, then consumer will shift on another or substitute goods. So in that case what may happen, that production of the commodity may shift according to that substitute goods. So as a producer, in case that if that substitute goods prices are high, so you will decrease the supply of the goods which prices are low, and you will go for substitute goods. So producer is having that all round knowledge in that case in price of related goods. So another thing we are discussing about complementary goods. If complementary goods prices are high, then producer is willing to supply more and more commodity in the market. Why? Because they are used together. So in that case supply will be more in the market. So in case of substitute goods opposite, and in case of complementary goods it is directly proportional. So if complementary goods are having more price, then more supply of the commodity will be in the market by the producer, and if the substitute goods are having high prices, then supply of that particular product will be low in the market. So next one we are going to discuss techniques of production. So technique of production I want to tell you in short. So what is technology? if invention of new techniques is there in the market, then more supply in the market, because that production cost will be low in that case. And if no technical innovations or inventions are there, then supply of the commodity will be low in the market. So profit margin will increase if we are having new inventions or innovations in the factor prices, then supply will be more, and if it is opposite, then vice versa will be in the supply. So I have not kept this point because it was a very small one. I hope you understood this one. Next point, nature of the industry. So one more thing we have to discuss, that in which kind of market we are supplying the commodity. So according to the nature of the industry, we are having especially two kinds, monopoly and competitive. So monopoly, where only single seller is there, mono means single, poly means seller. So where single seller is there, that is known as monopoly. And competitive means where many firms are working already, that is known as competitive market. So if we are discussing about monopoly, so the firm is whole soul. So producer is willing to supply the products on high prices, or we can say so that he will restrict the supply so that prices may be increased of the commodity very easily, or that as a producer you can increase the price after restricting that supply of the commodity. If supply will less in the market, then people will demand will more, and if more demand is there, then monopolist can increase the price easily and he can increase the supply also in that case. But in case of competitive market, it is not possible. Why? Because in competitive firms, producer produce and sell is more compared to that monopolist industry. Means if you are restricting your products, then people will go for another product, because a competitive market, many firms are there, not only you is there. So we can say so that in monopoly, if producer can restrict the supply to increase the price, and in competitive markets, producer is not having that option, otherwise he will be out of the competition, because the supply may be fulfilled by the another firms which are already there in the market. So next one we are going to discuss policy of taxation and subsidies. So we know well what is tax. Means the government is having a different kind of tax in the industry, just like sales tax, excise duty, VAT, GST, etc., etc., etc. So while the government is imposing the tax on the sellers, so what happens? The price of the commodity increases, and if the price of commodity increases, then what will there? That increase in the cost of production, and if increase in the cost of production, then profit maximization will be reduced. So in case of a reduction of the taxes or subsidies, the opposite impact may be seen. Suppose subsidy is being given by the government to particular industry, so their production cost will be less and they will supply more in the market, because profit will be more. And if government is imposing the new taxes, so that production cost will more, and in that case that supply of the commodity will be less in the market. Why? Because the price of the commodity will increase, and if price of the commodity will increase, then demand on the particular product will decrease in the market. So I hope you understood. If taxation is there, then less supply. If subsidies are there, then more supply. Why? Because by taxation it will increase the input price and profit maximization will be less, and by subsidy that it will decrease that input price, and that's why that profit maximization will be more. So next we are going to discuss expectations about future prices. So very easy to understand. If producers are thinking so that in future the commodity prices will increase, so supply will be less in the market, and if they think so that in future the price will fall down, then they can supply more and more in the market. So it is very easy to understand. Means if prices in future will fall down, then there will be more supply, and if prices in the future will increase in case of emergency, in case of war, then supply will be less in the market. So because producer is willing to sell his product on highest price or maximum highest possible price in the market. So I hope this is clear. Means if future price will fall down, then more supply in the market. If future price will increase, then there will be less supply in the market today. So next we are going to discuss about natural factors. So natural factors means just like the earthquake, just like the flood, drought conditions, and heavy rains. These are known as natural factors which are having impact on agricultural products. So we can say so that if favorable rain is there and climatic conditions are better for any crop, so supply of that particular product or supply of particular crop will increase. And if vice versa, or if we can say so that adversable conditions are there or unfavorable climatic conditions are there for any crop, then there will be less supply in the market in case of agricultural products. So I hope you understood this one. In case of agricultural products, natural factors play a very important role. If favorable climatic conditions are given by the nature, and there is no excessive rain, there is no drought conditions, or according to that particular crop we are having the favorable climatic conditions, so there will be more supply in the market. And if any earthquake, any flood, any drought conditions, then in that case there will be less supply in the market. So I hope you understood this concept. Next we are going to discuss agreement among producers. So what is agreement among producers? First of all, I would like to tell that when few producers are meeting together and they are making a group, that is known as cartel. And according to that cartel, what they are doing, they are sharing the information and they are restricting the supply. And why they are restricting the supply? Means they want to increase the demand in the market, because when the demand will increase, they can increase the price. So when there is the agreement, or in case of cartel among the producers, that supply of the commodity will decrease or it will reduce. And if there is no agreement among the producers, then supply will increase in the market, or supply will have more flow in the market. So in case of agreement, they can create the scarcity of that particular product. Why? By restricting the commodity, and price will high and demand will high, and in that case they want to supply more and more. But vice versa may be there. If they are not having any group, then individual can supply on to particular commodity in the market. So last topic we are going to discuss, that is availability of transport and communication facilities. So we know well that if transport is better, then more supply will be in the market, and if transport is not better, then supply of the commodity will be affected. For example, that you have set up that sugar mill in Badhapur jungles or in Kordwar jungles. There many wild animals are there, no transport facility is there, and landslide is there. Sometimes that heavy rain creates the problem in transportation, so that supply of the your sugar will less in the market. And opposite of this one, if we are having that better transportation, then we can have better supply in the market. You have read in 10th class also about transportation. If better transport facility is available, then particular industry is well developed. So why industry is well developed? Because supply of the particular product is possible, or we can say more and more supply will be there if transport is available for particular place to another places. So it is linked with another places, so more supply will be there, because it is easy to send that products from one place to another place. So I hope you understood this one. Now which topic I have told you about stock and supply, I am going to discuss here. So what is supply? Supply refers to the quantity of a commodity offered for sale at a given price and a given time period. So supply is the part of the stock. What is stock? Means whatever the total production of a producer is known as a stock. So first we can go through. Stock refers to the entire quantity of commodity which is in the custody of seller. So it is that potential supply. So we can say so that whatever the quantity of commodity is produced by the producer, that is stock, and whatever the quantity of the commodity he is willing to sell, that is supply. So clear one thing, total production we can take as the stock, and whatever is willing to sell, that is supply. So first point is clear. Second one is dependence. So stock depend on production, means whatever that production, that is stock, and supply depends on stock and the price, means stock is there but on that particular price seller is not willing to sell, then supply will not be there in the market. Clear what I said? So stock depends on production and supply depend on price as well as stock. So stock is there but price is not there, then producer is not willing to sell. So price and stock both should be there, then only the supply is possible in the market. Next point we are going to discuss, that is relationship. So for perishable commodities, stock and that supply can be the same. So perishable goods means which cannot be kept for long time, those are known as perishable goods. So in that case, whatever the production is there, that may be supplied, so supply and production may be same, and supply cannot be greater than the stock. So we can say that stock is equal to production, but supply cannot be more than stock. So one more thing is there, that for durable commodities, stock can be more than the supply. So supply cannot be more than stock, but stock can be more than supply for durable goods. Means they can stock more and more commodities if they are not perishable, and they can sell out afterwards whenever the prices may be high. But in case of supply, that will be equal to or less than stock, that cannot be more than stock. So supply can be less than stock only, but stock can be more than supply. So next one, order of existence. So stock comes before supply, means if stock is there, then only supply is possible in the market, and if you are not having stock, then supply is not possible in the market. So supply comes after the stock. If any producer is not having the stock, so from where he will supply the product in the market. So today we have discussed the topic, what is supply and what is the difference between stock and supply, and what is market and individual supply, and last point we have discussed determinants of supply. I hope the concepts are clear to you, and if you are having any kind of doubt in these topics, you can write me in comment section. I will explain that particular point in next video. Till then, have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and keep on working and prepare for the examination. Have a nice day.